Okay, I want to show you something kind of cool. So you should be in inch units, which I know you guys don't like. But when I went and dimensioned my part, the tutorial, you see, wanted 120 millimeters. Okay, I'm in inches. But when I went to go do my part, I typed in 120 and then I hit millimeters. And it made it 120 millimeters, but it displays it as its English equivalent, 4.72 inches. So this is a cool little way for you guys to stick with the units you'd like to design in, but display in the units that you might manufacture in. So I thought that was kind of cool with SolidWorks. You can also, I hard typed it. If you typed 120, you can do this little drop down unit thing and you can pick all kinds of units. I thought that was nifty. Okay. The other cool thing I wanted to show you, in order to do it, I'm going to delete my hole. I'm going to delete all of them. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay, so you were going to make this boss on here. So a couple of cool techniques. I think I showed you this before, but you could either open a sketch right here and sketch on there, or you could say, hey, I'm going to make an extruded boss base, and it says, well, where do you want to make it? So you can just click this, face. Notice the little stoplight thing. This is not rebuilt yet. It's not done because you really haven't sketched anything yet. All right, I'm going to pick a circle. Now, you could just draw this anywhere and then dimension it where it's supposed to be, like the tutorial tells you to do. So it tells you right here, see, dimension the center 60-60. We talked about relations in adaptive parts. They don't care in this tutorial. But there's another way to do it. You could center this on there non-adaptively without doing the dimensions. You can skip. And the way you can do it is you can hover over this line and kind of just run down until you hit the midpoint, and then watch as you pull down. You can see this little dotted line. Okay, and then I'm pulling down. Well, I don't see a dotted line in the middle of the other one. All right, so why don't I go to this line and I cruise over to its midpoint and I start pulling to the right, and I see a dotted line horizontally. I keep going, and up I intersected that other line. So as we were hovering and dragging, we were teaching SolidWorks, hey, we're interested in the midpoint of this line. We're also interested in the midpoint of this line. And then SolidWorks thinks, well, hey, if you're interested in those two midpoints, how about the intersection? Once you've hovered over, then you can click and pull your circle, and it's centered. Now, one neat thing about that is, let's go ahead and look at the display delete relations. Check it out. It knew we wanted the circle in the center, but it didn't give me those goofy relations, which I may or may not have wanted. So I thought that was kind of a cool little thing. So always, if you're interested in something, always hover over it as you're selecting, and SolidWorks may figure out what you want for you. So don't be afraid to hover over things. I can't remember how thick they wanted this thing. 25. So here I'm going to try it again. I'm going to make the extruded cut in here. Instead of drawing the circle somewhere and then forcing the center to be concentric, which I could do with a relation, I could draw the center and I could click the two centers and say be concentric. Or click the two circles and say be concentric. I could force that relation. Another way to do it is I could just hover over the circle and tell SOLIDWORKS, hey, I'm interested in this circle. And it says, hey, there's 4 points on this circle in a quadrant and there's a center. Were you interested in any of that? And then I can go click the center and pull my circle and it makes it concentric. I thought that was kind of cool too. Okay, another thing I want to show you before we finish is, so you go to fillets, okay? This tutorial would kind of tell you about this, but it breezes through it. So let's say I wanted to do a fillet. I could select this edge and see it gives me a preview of that fillet. It's a 0.1 inch radius right there. I could also select this edge and this edge, and I can do multiple fillets all in one feature. I click OK, and it fillets those, and it puts them all in this one fillet, okay? Instead of doing like 10 of them. You can put it all in one feature. Another thing you can do is, I'm going to go back and edit the feature. Go in this window, I can right-click Clear Selections. You can do other things like select this face. So if I select this face, it selects all the edges on that face, including the one that's with the boss, the circular boss, and it fillets those. Okay, and then I can also select this top face, and it'll select those two edges. So just realize that there's some nifty options you can do with those fillets. All right, we're about out of time. Last thing I want to remind you of is on that Lego, make sure you use a shell feature somewhere. I don't care what you shell, just use the shell feature. Okay? Any questions about homework, what's expected of tonight, tomorrow, any of that stuff? Yes?
For the thing we have to turn in tomorrow, like declaring our final project,
No, that's Friday.
Oh, that's Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're going to upload the Word document by the end of first break Friday morning to D2L.
Okay.
And that's homework 2.
Okay.
So you'll upload it in the homework 2 folder. Homework 3 is due tomorrow.
Oh.
That's your Lego drawing, or Lego part.
So how detailed do we need to get in that description?
As detailed as you wish. I mean, don't be so little detail that it's silly. I mean, I need to know.
Do you want pictures, or is it just like a description?
You could do pictures if you want, but I mean, I was thinking just a paragraph describing the parts you were going to have, the drawings you would have of those parts, what the assembly would look like, maybe what the animation looks like. I don't know if I told this to the whole class, but like examples. Did I tell you the examples? So like one of the examples I thought of was I have this pool table I never used downstairs, right? So, you know, I could make a pool table with all the balls on the pool table, maybe even racked, and then the animation could be them splitting up. So I could describe that in my Word document, okay? Something like that. Make sure it's scoped appropriately. I'm not looking for some big complex monster. You don't really have enough time for all that stuff, okay? Make sure it's something you are sure you can complete in the next 2.5 weeks, okay? You get the weekends too, because it won't be due till the Monday following end of class. So you can cram on a weekend.
For this tutorial, where is Real View Graphics? It says it's on the view toolbar, but I don't see it on the view.
Let me shut my VLC down and I'll come help you.